When Alan Wake 1 was released in 2010, many of us were stuck playing Modern Warfare 2, Left 4 Dead 2, Mass Effect 2, BioShock 2, Skate 3, Bad Company 2, so naturally we missed out on visiting Bright Falls. But when it got remastered in 2021 and a sequel was released in 2023, I naturally took notice because I didn't understand it. See, it was easy to gloss over Alan Wake back in the day when it was released because it came out the exact same day that Red Dead Redemption did. So 14 years later, the 3K from LA, yours truly, Grimm Hollywood, finally booted up that copy I had bought 4 years ago, unopened, and was wildly blown away. If you're a Twin Peaks fan like me, you will naturally love Alan Wake. There are so many references and even shots identical to Twin Peaks. The diner is familiar, the police station is a direct copy.
Mr. Wake, the sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor.
He's changed his will, leaving the towers to Jade instead of Emerald.
She used to be the editor of the local newspaper, but she's...
The small town feel is very comforting in Bright Falls, the complete opposite of a game like Silent Hill 2, a masterpiece no doubt. However, Bright Falls feels good to be in. More Twin Peaks similarities include the Log Lady. Well, in Alan Wake, it's the Lamp Lady. Even in the shot here, it is the exact same as Twin Peaks. The setting is beautiful and the soundtrack is stellar as you fight through these nightmare creatures, which we'll get into in a second, but the game is very Lynchian. It's not particularly scary, it's not a horror game by any means. There are moments that could make you jump, but in the context of the story, they're not there to scare you, but intrigue you. The writing of Alan Wake is so strong. It pulled me in immediately, not only through its difficult to create ambiance, felt through its opening scenes, but in the plot events. This isn't a contrived pseudo art where there's unanswered questions. This is a classic story of good versus evil that feels familiar, so it's easy to grasp, yet you want to find out what happens as you're playing it, just like a great Stephen King novel. You can't put it down. I beat Alan Wake in one day. At first, I had to do that due to time constraints, but as I was playing, I really had to beat this game. I had to find out what was going to happen next. Now, the combat at times, it did feel like a nuisance in the sense that I just wanted to unravel more of the story. However, the action is fine, even if it doesn't exactly hold up against modern-day combat greats such as Last of Us 2. The system and combat is fun, centering around the use of your flashlight, which is unique, and the counter system is a lot of fun, going slow-mo, Max Payne style. Now, I played the remastered version, and so I'm unfamiliar with the original and what they've changed, if they have changed anything. So if you have played both of them, how does the remaster hold up against the original? Especially in an age where remasters alter the original games now, within these last 3 years that we've seen. From afar, however, this looks to be a faithful remaster. But more things that really stand out in this game is finding the manuscript pages. I'm not someone who goes through and does all of the collectible stuff usually in games, but finding these manuscript pages it was thrilling. Essentially, without spoiling the story, the pages detail what's about to happen or what has happened that you didn't see, narrated in this cool neo-noir style.
The splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll.
Which the voice acting is phenomenal. If you're like me when you played Alan Wake, you stopped at every radio to listen to that older DJ talk because the script was so well written and the acting was so enjoyable to listen to.
Toby loves rabbits.
Well, sure.
Anyway, I figured that, if anyone runs into Toby, they could grab him. My number's on his collar.
And Toby's a friendly dog?
Toby loves people. Usually he comes back, but when we were pretty...
I'll get Toby. I'll find Toby.
And there was tons of these sort of things in Alan Wake, like Night Springs, a fully acted live-action TV show in random parts through the game. You'd find these TVs and it would play a new episode, and every time it was fun. A sort of homage to the Twilight Zone or the Outer Limits. For the game to be able to go into live action throughout the game like that without cutting away into a full live action sequence, that was fun. That was a spectacle, having the real-life Alan Wake on TV and the video game one watching him. It's a really cool feeling, man. Back in the day, Alan Wake was just one of the many, many titles coming out in what I and many others think is the greatest era of gaming. But playing it for the first time in 2024, it really stands out with the state that AAA gaming is in these days. Now, writing this, I haven't even played Alan Wake 2 yet. I had been waiting for a physical copy, which is finally released, so I'll be getting into that on my Twitch, and I'm so excited to revisit Bright Falls. The hype around Alan Wake 2 when it released a year ago was huge, and I didn't get it then, but after playing Alan Wake 1, I finally get it now, as I consider Alan Wake 1 now to be in my top 10 favorite games and a true masterpiece. If you want to see my hotshot montage of my first playthrough beating Alan Wake 1 in one day, click through here when the video's available. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and if you like these mini essays from the 3K from LA, Grimm Hollywood, drop a comment. Namaste, Malaya.
And honey.